So one of the ways that you can start your brand for free, for the most part, is using an application called Canva. It's basically free to use. You can pay the premium membership if you want to do more than the free stuff. But when you're first getting started, you don't need to spend a whole lot of money, into a whole lot of stuff. Really, you need to just try to keep it as simple as you possibly can. And Canva is one of the places that I still use, believe it or not, and other stuff that you can build that brand. You need to come up with a name first. That's the first thing you need to come up with. What exactly is it that you're representing? You would not want to pick a name saying the mountain climber, right? And then talk about, car stuff or something. That just wouldn't really match all that well. So you need to pick something that's kind of tailored to what it is that you're talking about. It's pretty important to be matched with what it is that you're doing. So in instance, mastering.com is obviously a pretty simple and easy thing to understand because look what it says, right? And that's what we're here to do, is to help you guys get mastering the internet and .coms and .nets and .infos and all the other different things, okay? Because it's highly important for you guys to understand this stuff so that way you can apply it in your life. And once you start applying this stuff, you're going to be absolutely just thrilled to know that you're on this path of of freedom. Really, down the road, when you actually become successful online, you are going to be just the happiest person in the world. So it's going to be a process initially trying to get all these things together and get things started. That's the hardest part when it comes to this kind of stuff, is a lot of people don't know where to start and how to start and what to do. So branding can be part of the first process of getting things together. You need to use the resources available online. They're everywhere. You can learn pretty much anything you really need to know for free through YouTube or Google or anywhere else for that matter. Websites such as my website, I give a lot of free information out there and that kind of thing. So it's important to start putting things together in a conceptual type of way that gives you the edge down the road. That way you're kind of already set up. You're not kind of trying to put things together down the road and and that kind of stuff. It's good to have kind of a good game plan at the beginning of things. So the importance of brand building, I'll give you another example. So wherever you live, you probably see, like say, I don't know, maybe it's a electrical company or plumbing company or what. I know gas stations, obviously, just say gas stations. Okay, well, everyone knows like of a particular gas station that you see all over the place. That would be a brand, okay? Or you see multiple trucks and cars going down the road with the same logos on the side of the vehicles and stuff. They produce that presence of who they are, the establishment, so to speak, and that's what it boils down to. Is same thing with on the internet. When you see, everyone knows who Amazon is. There's no questions about it. But some of the other smaller companies and stuff like that are out there, you still see their name popping up from time to time. You're like, huh? Well, I've seen them over here and over here and over there and stuff. Let's go check them out. So that's what you want. You don't want just like no exposure, or not be branded in such a way where it's confusing or misleading and that kind of thing. You want to. There isn't really a specific definition for branding, whether it be information, social media, products, self-help or help books or nutrition or anything. Doesn't matter. Manufacturing, cars, automotive, all the different things out there. Okay. branding is something that you basically, for the most part, put together that's a representation of what it is that you do in kind of a few simple terms or pictures, so to speak. So if you've got a logo and a name that goes along with what you're doing, and you spread it across everything that you're doing and touching and seeing and explaining and showing, then that's your brand. Okay, do you kind of understand that? So some of you guys will understand, oh, brand, no big deal. It kind of goes into a little bit more details than just making a couple of coffee cups and stuff like that, or just making a name, because you can't just make a name and then all of a sudden you have a brand. Okay, a brand is something that you build long term, so to speak. Okay, it's something that grows exponentially. Okay, Craftsman tools are everywhere, right? You know, down here in Texas, we have Quick Trips. They're gas stations. They're big gas stations. They're everywhere. Everyone knows Quick Trip. Quick Trip has their own product line within their own brand. So you got Quick Trip chips. You got Quick Trip cups. You've got Quick Trip. You know, they've just here recently started a kind of like like a little, you know, food parlor inside where they cook you pizza and other different stuff. That's Quick Trip signature stuff, you know. So they branded Quick Trip with pepperoni pizza, you know, and all this other stuff. So that's what we're talking about when it comes to branding and that sort of thing. So just brainstorm, put together a package, look at my website, look at my videos, look at the other people's products and videos and stuff, and determine what it is that they're trying to put together and come up with your own. It doesn't matter what it is. Just pick something that you think is going to represent what you're doing, put it together, and use a free place like Canva to help make some logos and stuff and that kind of stuff. So you will need to, you're going to need to use your head on some of this stuff to put some of this stuff together. It's going to take time. It's going to be somewhat frustrating at times because there isn't just some clear-cut way to do any of this stuff. So you need to keep that in your mind all the time when it comes to this stuff. You've got to be able to critically think to do this. I mean, if you can't do that, it's going to be very difficult. You may want to do this internet stuff, but you may not be able to do the internet stuff because you've got to be able to think about this step, that step, all these things that you need to put together. The most important thing that you need to be aware of is your time and how you are spending your time putting this stuff together. It's very important because this stuff, you can do a whole lot of time wasting on this stuff and get absolutely nowhere. So you've got to be very, it's very important and very critical that you think about how you're putting this stuff together and for what reason and what order and how. Okay, you do have to have a plan and chain of command in order to get this stuff off the ground. Otherwise, you're just not going to get anywhere. Okay, I'll make a separate video on some of the steps that you can actually go through to progress forward, to not be wasting too much time, because there's so many things out there that you can waste time on that you'd be spending years and years and years and years and get nowhere because there's just too many things. So you need to be focused on building the brand and putting it together. Okay?